How is it going, everybody? It is Sean, or the Armchair Coach, and we are on NBA 2K26 today to complete Season 2 of our Chaos Wheel with the Los Angeles Clippers. So on the screen here, we can see that we are at the top of yet another great season, hopefully. And first things first, let's take a look at our roster and get ourselves refamiliarized with what happened here. So we brought in Gilbert Arenas, Carlos Boozer, and Antoine Thomas last season. These two were free agent acquisitions that we were able to pull in, and kind of, I think, as a result of the hard cap being off, or the hard cap being on. But this, I don't know, something strange happened here. But they were free agents. We were able to bring them in. Maybe the teams they were on couldn't afford their options, and we benefit as a result. We've got two great young players here surrounding a questionable core. Quentin Richardson did take a big step up in the offseason, so I can't complain about that, but our bench is definitely very weak outside of the small forward position here, and, well, I guess our power forward position's not that bad either. Oh, hold on. Well, I think we're definitely going to have Theo Ratliff move back to center here, so we'll fix that here, and we'll take a look at the coaching or the minutes to start this season, and then we will be beholden to our Chaos Wheel. I haven't added any effects yet for this season. I have not thought of any new ones. Like I said, if you guys can think of any new effects, please leave a comment below so I can add them to the wheel. I'm always searching for new ideas, and while you are down there furiously typing whatever thing you think I should add to the wheel, why don't you go ahead and hit that subscribe button and the like button as well, so we can help our channel reach more people, so we can get even more suggestions for our chaos. So with that being said, I'm going to fix this up, and then we will take a look at our minutes. All right, minutes adjusted here, and here is our going Okay, minutes adjusted here. This is the squad we are rolling up with to start the season. We've got Gilbert leading the way at the point, Agent Zero. I am incredibly happy to have him on this roster. As we know, Gilbert can be a menace in Sim. If you've watched any Danny 2K video, you know that this guy can score at an incredible clip, and in the Sims that I've run, he is the exact same. He is a scoring menace in just about every Sim I've ever run. So getting him on our squad here is exciting, where he will definitely be the best player and hopefully getting the most looks. So we've got our minutes set up, and it is time to spin our Chaos Wheel for the first time this season. Up on our screen, you can see the Chaos Wheel.
So on this wheel, there are 20 effects right now. Oh, there are 20 effects. Hold on, I gotta remember what the 20th one is real quick. I had remembered what it was. We had added start your worst player to the wheel. And the other thing we are going to do, because I had realized that besides the fact that we kept landing on the same effects and killing our roster, I realized that we hadn't shuffled these at all, and I think that might help make things a little bit more random. So we're going to give this just a few shuffles here, make things a little bit more randomized on this wheel. And can you tell I'm trying to put it off? We are going to spin the wheel for the first time. What are we going to see? We're trading for team something here. Man, the unction is generational, folks. Let me tell you, we will never get out of the unction. So we are trading for a team's oldest player. So we are going to spin the team wheel here and see who that lands on. Who are we making a deal with to start this season? It's looking like the 76ers. Okay. So before we take a look at the roster, we're also going to shuffle this up a little bit, make that even more random for us in the future as well. But we'll take a look at the 76ers roster now and find their oldest player. Okay, so we are looking at the 76ers roster, and we have a tie for the oldest player. We have Danny Fortson here and Michael Curry, both of which are 35 years old. They're both awful, one of which has a slightly worse contract here. But since we don't have to trade for a bad contract, we're going to add Michael Curry here, and we'll see what we can get away with offering them here. I mean, he is a small forward. I mean, can we just make this deal straight up? Will they take that? Oh, they'll give us Bimbo Cole. Wow, we are swapping all-time names. We get Bimbo Coles out and Popeye Jones in. What a deal we're talking about here. And I mean, yeah, we'll make that deal. I mean, maybe if throw in like a way later second. Oh, we'll swap seconds. Okay. Whatever, dude. Literally whatever. That trade is like the most whatever trade of all time. Just unk swap as we keep the unction going with some new faces. I think that affects the roster 0, and it definitely affects the minutes even less. But maybe I'm wrong here. Let's take a look. Coaching game plan. Yeah, no, that didn't affect the roster at all. So with that being said here, we now have to see how many games until we spin it again. Quick fix. And now you can see we have got our new game wheel here, and we have some more small values on the board to allow for our team to get torn apart more often. Because why not? We're calling this expanded chaos, right? We abolished the trade deadline, so we are going to be dealing with trade or this wheel all season long now. So let's see how long until the next time we spin it. Okay, and it's not going to be long at all. A whole one game. So let's sim that really quickly, and we'll see what we're doing next. We do manage to win our first game of the season here. Antoine Jamison led the way, 29-6-2. Also managed to get a steal. Gilbert only putting up 25 or 24-5-4. But long season ahead. But who knows if Gilbert will be a part of that. I don't want to like jinx myself, but we do have to spin the wheel again. It sure would be nice if I had more than one game in between each spin. Okay, Chaos Wheel back on the screen. We got to give it a spin. We randomized it, so now it's really, really hard. Okay, it says we're acquiring a draft pick. Okay, this is positive. This is one of those rare instances where the wheel is giving. So let's see who we're trying to acquire a draft pick from. it gives us the flexibility to acquire a pick in any draft. So we will spin the wheel here. Who are we trading with? A lot of interesting drafts we could try to get in on as we were going to make a deal with the Grizzlies here. So we'll get the trade screen up and then reconvene. So looking at the Grizzlies roster here, we're looking at a roster that is pretty talented. They've got AI and Jason Kidd there playing point guard and shooting guard. That's a crazy combo. And then they've got LeBron at small forward. Is he making $113 million as a rookie? Oh, okay. Okay, that's insane. I think some of these contracts are going to end up being wild by the modern NBA era. But, wow, this team is insane. I mean, LeBron's only averaging 18. They've got, well, I mean, I'm just beside myself looking at that roster. But we need to focus on acquiring a pick here. And if I'm being honest with you, I don't know if it's going to matter. Why can't I not find the Grizzlies? There we go. I don't know if it's going to matter what draft we try to get a pick in, because this team is built to be good for at least the next 2 or 3 years. So I'll tell you what, there is a draft pick I do have in mind, and I think you might be able to guess what draft I'm thinking of here. One very tall, lanky, small forward, power forward, shooting guard, point guard from Texas that can kind of just take your team over the top. So what I want to do here is enter the trade finder, and I want to see what the Grizzlies will offer us if we go after their 07 first, because that'd be a really good pick to have. They want Popeye Jones in a second. If we give them Theo Ratliff in a second, they'll give us 2 picks. They'd also... no, not doing that trade. Definitely not doing Derek Fisher. What are we talking about? I'm definitely willing to just flip Popeye Jones in a second for a future first from the Grizzlies. I definitely think that's a good trade. And once again, that doesn't affect our roster at all. So that's a net positive trade. So started out whatever. Now we've added a draft pick. So let's see how long until we try to do something else with the wheel. So games wheel back up on the screen. We have to spin and see how long of an interval we have a break from the wheel for. And then we will get back to it. Okay, so we're going to have some space here as we will have 15 games to sim now. So let's see how this team performs in year 2. Only have 35% team chemistry. You can't see that right now if it's on the other screen, but that's not going to help us win games. So hopefully we get into a rhythm quickly here. But I will sim those, and we will reconvene when we have 16 games. Okay, we have reached the 16th game of the season. So we've simmed 15 here, and as you can see, we are 12-4. So have rattled off a really hot start to this season. If we looking through some of these box scores, I cannot believe the kind of scorer Antoine Jameson has been. Gilbert, oh my goodness, 19, 6, and 10. Carlos Boozer had 14 and 17 in that game and no assists. So this team is performing really well, but you know what time it is. So we will see what the Chaos Wheel is saying for us this time. The wheel has been merciful to begin this season. Oh, are we going to land on our new effect here? We are. So we now have to start the worst player on our team. So let's now spin the games wheel immediately, because we now need to see how many games that will be for. Please, this would be one of those that it would be nice to have not 18 games, perhaps. Maybe literally anything except 18 games. I really hope that our worst player isn't a point guard. So, crisis averted here. Dick Daniels, not going to make a joke about it, right? And his number is 1. The connection there is obvious. So Dick Daniels here is the worst player. Oh, wait, no. It's actually David Carr, and he is a center. Okay, so, maybe I just really wanted to make the Dick Daniels bit, but David Carr is actually going to play some center minutes here, and that's fine because Theo Ratliff's a little bit tired, so it'll give him an opportunity to come off the bench a little bit. It's not like we have to it's not like we're benching him. We do have that effect on our wheel, so he does get to play some minutes here. However, we are giving David Carr starter minutes at 68 overall. I think that means the better players on our roster get more minutes, and he should definitely be playing 30 or less. So that's how we're going to shake up the minutes here, and we will now sim another 18 games with this as our starting lineup, and I will check back in with you. All right, folks, we have simmed 18 games here, and we are 25-9. This team is performing excellently despite the chaos wheel having things to say every so often. As we check in on our player stats for this season, Gilbert leading the way scoring wise with 22 a game, but Antoine Jamison I think has been a surprise. The litany of deals that we had to make that ended up putting him on our team were definitely unpleasant, but I think out of the situation, we definitely are benefiting. And then Carlos Boozer here, the other guy we managed to pick up in free agency, his bald head gleaming. I can barely look at the screen right now as I tell you that he is 13-12 through this season so far. So crashing the boards for us. And we are second in the conference right now as we approach our next spin. I'm definitely happy that despite not being able to go after the big guy... Oh. We're starting a player out of position. Man, this is getting wild. So we're not doing a lot of trading so far. We are just kind of jumbling our team around, trying to find a way to lose. How, by the way, hold on. Let me point out to you here with my cursor our fan interest level despite our record. I had this same thing happen in our Celtics dynasty, our Celtics chaos, which I will be releasing another episode of here very soon. But the fans had no interest, and we were second in the conference, and it just must be because they keep buying jerseys for guys we're trading away. But if you were buying Bimbo Cole's jerseys, I've got questions, a lot of them. And we will continue our, or we will go ahead and start our player out of position. But I'm going to see how many games that's going to be for real quick. We'll definitely be putting Theo Ratliff back in the starting lineup, but how many games are we starting someone out of position for? So it's only going to be 5 this time. That's much more agreeable, I think. So we'll take a look at our roster and see who it makes the most sense to start out of position. Okay, so we are looking at the coach minutes here. We've got Theo Ratliff back in the starting lineup, and as you can see, we are putting Quentin Richardson, at small forward, but the player we're really starting out of position here is Anton Jamison. Man, have I been saying that this entire time? That's embarrassing. So Anton Jamison here is going to be our 2 guard for 5 games here. So we've got the 5 games just visible on the screen, so we'll go ahead and sim those really quickly. Quentin Richardson was a little bit banged up. He's back to 100% now. We're simming really slow. And we have reached the 5th game here, so still performing really well. I mean, despite putting our players out of position, benching players, and doing all sorts of wackiness, we are still 29-10 here, as we get closer to the All-Star break. So it is time to spin the wheel once more. We're gonna spin this up every so often, like we are Randotron from Rick and Morty. That's what I'm saying to you, though. That is what I programmed you to believe. Are we really starting a player out of position again? All right, so I think we'll look for a different player to put out of position this time. And let's see how many games we're going to be doing that for. Man, I can't believe we got that twice in a row. And we shuffled the wheel too, so that's really just randomness. And we're going to be doing that for another 9 games. So we'll take a look and see what we'll be doing as far as that goes. All right, we're doing something pretty crazy. We're going to put Theo Ratliff at small forward, and we'll put Anton Jameson at center now. I mean, that's definitely putting 2 guys out of position here. And so we will sim 9 games and see what kind of performance we have out of our squad with that. Okay, so this team is just built to win, and the wheel isn't making it very hard on us this year. And as we take a look at some of these, yeah, there's Gilbert Arenas that we know, 48-8 in this game against the Warriors. Anton Jameson, despite playing center, still putting up a pretty good performance. And yeah, Theo Ratliff playing small forward, pretty abysmal. What about this game here? Anton Jameson oh my goodness, this guy is a superstar. And Gilbert had 26, 5, and 10 in that game. And Theo Ratliff, despite playing small forward, did manage to get us 11 boards. So 38 and 10 here at the next spin mark. And I mean, I would say that we can take a sigh of relief because we're at the trade deadline, but that doesn't exist anymore. So we are clenching the cheeks till the last game this season. So let's see what we are going to spin this time. Wheel up on the screen. Are we trading or are we doing something wacky to the roster again? Oh. Okay. So this is interesting. This is the bag of chips trade. And if you are a little unsure what I am meaning when I say the bag of chips trade, we see many a trade where you feel like one team is just not getting the value back that they deserve, a la Jaylen Brown for Paul George and a couple firsts. That, my friends, is what we would call trading away a great player for a bag of chips. So I think what we'll do here is we're going to spin a wheel of our best players. I think all 5 of our starters will be considered here. And whoever it lands on, we will have to look in the trade finder and find a deal that is essentially a bag of chips trade. And I will get back to you once we have a wheel to spin, and then we will make that deal. We've got 5 names of our 5 best players, or our 5 starters, and whoever this wheel lands on, we are trading away for essentially a bag of chips. Oh, man. I poked the bear, so it's not going to be Gilbert Arenas. Cheeks unclench a little, as we are going to have to find a deal for Quentin Richardson here. So let's take a look in the trade finder and see what kind of dog shit we can produce. Okay, so here's the deal I think we're going to take. We've got Quentin Richardson and Anthony Carter here for Eric Strickland and Greg Ostertag. This is what I would consider a bag of chips, man. We are trading away one of our young and up-and-coming starters for 2 over-the-hill guys, and we're also giving up another guy in this deal. And, honestly, I'm fine if you guys want to hold on to him, and if we just get like a couple late seconds. Like, this is a bag of chips. We're trading our young shooting guard starter for backup point guard in 2 seconds, man. Yeah, and of course the Mavericks are going to happily accept that trade offer. So we now have to adjust our minutes here. I will be back with you once we have a new starting lineup in place. Okay, so here's the lineup. We end up putting Derek Fisher in at point guard and moving Gilbert over to the shooting guard, which is totally fine. It gives him more opportunities to score. Eric Strickland, the guy we acquired for our starter and are painfully including in our rotation here, he's going to end up bumping Jerome Moiso out of the rotation. But despite us having to trade away one of our starters in that deal, I still think the team's not too bad. So we will we will spin the game wheel now and see how long until the next spin. Game wheel spinning, and so is my head after making these trades this year and seeing our record as we will wait a whole 3 games until our next spin. Man, I can't get those 2 words correct today. And we will convene in 3 games. All right. So 3 games have passed since we made our deal. And looking at the box score from these games, Gilbert doing a lot of Gilbert things, scoring the basketball at an elite clip, leading our team in scoring in these few games here. Anton Jameson also putting up some decent performances. So we are at the next oh my gosh, guys, someone take a bat to my brain the next time I mess this word up. Oh gosh, I think someone's going to be way too excited to do that. But it is time for us to spin the wheel once more. Okay, we are spinning the wheel again. Put a lot of pressure on myself now. Can't mess up those 2 words anymore. And we're trading for a team's worst player. Okay, so what team are we trading with to acquire their worst player here? Not the Toronto Raptors. We're going to spin it here. Who is going to be the lucky team? Oh. I seem to have forgotten to remove our name from the list here. Give me just a second. Okay, so fix that. So let's go ahead and spin the wheel and see who we'll actually be trading with. And it'll be the Minnesota Timberwolves. Okay, so we'll take a look and find our worst player and make a deal. Okay, so we looked at the Timberwolves roster here, and we saw that they have 2 guys here who are on 2-way contracts, so we can't trade for them. And the worst guy on their actual roster is a guy named Richard Howard here, and they are offering us this deal. And I think this is probably a pretty easy accept, but maybe we try to squeeze out a 2nd round pick out of them. We're always looking for, wow, okay, maybe 2008 second. Okay, whatever. Okay, trade complete now. As you can see, we'll sim through this day and adjust nothing because this guy's dog water. And we will move on to the next spin of our games wheel to see how long until our next chaos effect. So we've got the games wheel back on the screen here. We will go ahead and give it a spin. Let's see how long until our next effect, and it is going to be a whole 1 game. So we'll reconvene very shortly. So we have simmed 1 game here, and it is now time for us to spin the chaos wheel again. How will we unravel reality for our team this time? I'm really hoping that us losing that game isn't a sign of things to come, as we're trading for a team's Worst contract. Okay. Well, the cap is off, so there's going to be a lot of big contracts. We just have to find a contract on a team that's actually bad value. So let's see what team that contract is going to be coming to us from. What will it be? It'll be the Phoenix Suns? Phoenix Suns. So we'll take a look and find a bad contract on the Suns here. So we are on the Suns roster here, and I would love for you guys to tell me where the bad contract is. This roster is very cheap outside of the rookie contracts here. I think with the salary cap off, the rookies get offered some wild stuff here. But all of these guys aren't getting paid too much. I genuinely think the worst deal they've got going on is Terrence Morris. This $5 million contract. So he's not very good. So what do we throw in return? I don't know. Let's take a look at the trade finder and see what they would take for him. So these guys are making me laugh, genuinely. The deals they are offering us are pretty abysmal. And the thing about it is they don't have any, they don't have any sort of, bargaining pieces to use, really. Oh boy, Etan Thomas really moves the needle for us as far as wanting to give up Tim Thomas on our team. So definitely not going to do that through the trade finder, I guess. So, man, what do we offer them? I mean, come on. We're talking about, a guy who is not that good. I mean, what will it take? Maybe we throw in, Chris Wilcox and a second, and they take that? Yeah, maybe 2 seconds? Whoa, my goodness. Okay, 3 seconds, surely. Man, they think this guy's got crazy value. I just don't see how a guy who's 25 with C potential is gonna develop into anything for you. But I tell you what, I will give you Jerome Moiso and Michael Curry, but I also want a future first. Am I just gonna I mean, I would just do this trade straight up at this point. Okay, this and a later down the line second, 2 seconds from that draft. Oh my god. Okay. Dude, some of these trades are super simple, and then there's that trade. There's that trade which made me want to rip my trachea out and then shove it through me the opposite direction. I can't believe how difficult they were being about a guy who's just never going to do anything. So just way overpay there, but we will now spin the game wheel and see what kind of break we have from trades like that this time. I mean, truly, that was unbelievable. You have teams that'll be kind of gracious, and then you have teams like that, as we will have a 7-game sim period this time, so I will check back in with you in 7 games. Okay, another 7 games have passed, and we have reached a 45-14 record. We're still second in the conference, and the fans, once again, couldn't give a fuck. They hate these Clippers. I guess all of the Clippers fans are actually Lakers fans. But let's go ahead and spin the Chaos Wheel. Let's see what we're doing now. All right, Chaos Wheel on the screen. How will we affect our team this time? Are we acquiring another draft pick? Okay. So I'll take that, definitely. We'll go ahead and shuffle the wheel here a couple times for our next spin. And let's go ahead and see who we are making a deal with to acquire a pick here. Is it going to be the Pacers? It is going to be the Pacers. So let's take a look at their draft picks and see what we want to acquire here. Oh, funnily enough, they've got our first round pick this year. What would they want for their pick this year? They would do a pick swap with the Lakers. Does that just fully hinge on... Oh, no, they would give us a pick swap. All right, what would they want? They would do... Okay. Huh. This deal is intriguing to me. We trade away a regressing, potentially, Derek Fisher for a first-round pick this year. I mean, how good are the Pacers, really? Let's take a look at the playoff picture here. We are in the Western, so we need to see... Pacers are 35 and 24, so they're not really gonna be that great, or their pick isn't gonna be that great. So maybe we try to acquire a pick from them next season. So let's see, what would they offer? They would give it to us for the pick we have this year. No thanks. Is there anything? Okay. If we do that, we can move Gilbert back to point guard, and then we can start this Kirk Tinsley feller here, this auto-generated guy with the killer goatee. We could start him at shooting guard, and I don't think the drop-off in performance would be that insane. Could I squeeze a second out of it? What are we talking? No. What are we talking about? Like, low Kirk-Genuinely, what are we talking about here? Okay. Once again, I will refresh this trade, and then we will just take that for what it is. I love how the trade logic works. But we will take this Derek Fisher for Tremaine Folks deal. Acquire ourselves yet another draft pick. We're kind of stocking up picks like we're Sam Presti, and we've got to now adjust our roster and game plan here, so give me just a moment. All right, minutes are set. So Gilbert moves back over to the point, and Kirk Tinsley finds himself in the starting lineup, and we've got the rest of our lineup set here. Chris Wilcox will find himself some minutes down there at the end of the bench now. And we will now spin the games wheel as we get to the closeout point of the season now. How many more times are we going to end up having to spin the Chaos Wheel this season? We are getting close to crunch time. Games wheel a spinning. And, well, the next time we're going to have to spin it is going to be very soon. It's going to be next game. So I will sim that game and we will talk then. Okay, so... First things first here, it's actually the contract extension deadline. And taking a look here, everyone on our roster, I think, is in good shape contract-wise. So that's good to note. So hopefully when we sim through here, oh, well, it says... I don't know if that pop-up populates no matter what or what, but we sim through this Pacers game, we do get the win, and that means it is time for another Chaos Wheel spin. So we did shuffle the wheel, I believe, the last time we spun it. So what are we doing this time? Oh, I can see it happening. Yep. We saw this happen in the Celtics Dynasty video that we did, but we are going to have to swap our center and point guard, and I'll show you what that looks like. So as you can see here, this is what that's going to look like. Theo Ratliff is going to run the point for us, and Gilbert is going to play some center. I wonder if Gilbert's going to have some crazy rebounding numbers, but we will spin the games wheel. We'll see how long that is going to be the case for our roster here. And we have spun, and we are landing on 10 games. So for 10 games, we will have to see Theo Ratliff running the offense. So I will sim those 10 games, and then we will talk then. Okay, 10 games simmed here. I mean, we definitely had a harder time winning some of these games, but I mean, Gilbert 47, 6 and 5 in this game. I mean, truly acquiring Gilbert Arenas is breaking the game here. 22, 7 and 13 from the center position. I mean, Theo Ratliff got 10 and 8. Okay, big fella, run the point guard. So we are 53 and 17. We have just a few games left now until the end of the year. First things first here, I definitely want to make sure we swap these two back to their proper positions. And we will spin the chaos wheel for what could be the final time for this regular season. Let's see what we've got. Chaos wheel spinning. It has been very kind to us this year. And we are trading for another bad contract. Okay. As if this couldn't be any more of an unction. I'm sure we're going to be looking at a very old and overpaid player here on the Denver Nuggets. Man, we are right on the border on a lot of these spins here. So we'll take a look at the Nuggets roster and find ourselves a bad contract. Okay, so we are in the Nuggets roster, and like I said, I think with the salary cap off, the rookie contracts for the rest of the sim are just going to look ridiculous, as Keith Bogan's way down the first round board probably, makes $33 million as a rookie. And unfortunately, we can't trade for this Penny Hardaway contract because he is hurt. So we do have a few options here, and I think it's going to involve us trading here for Charlie Ward. He is 33 years old, making $6 million a year. He's not very good, so we're going to see what we can get in an offer here. Okay. I actually don't hate this deal. We'll definitely come back to that. Okay, so... Okay, so I think we're actually going to look at this deal here. They're offering us a 2006 lottery protected. Would you consider doing it if I just ask you for an 07 unprotected? Okay, so they'll throw Scott Pollard in if we throw a 2005 unprotected. We can't put any protections on it, unfortunately. And I don't want to do that. Okay, so we tried to get them to remove the protection from the pick and experiment with putting it in different years and a couple different variations of formulation, but they're just not going to move off of it. They kept trying to throw Scott Pollard and making us give up our first round pick, and I just was not interested. So we'll just go ahead and accept this deal straight up. We make our point guard position worse ever so slightly, but we do end up acquiring a pick. I mean, a theoretical pick, perhaps, but we can definitely still make use of that as we'll throw him into our rotation now, and he'll get 13 minutes. And with that being said, now we can spin the games wheel and see if we're going to be spinning the wheel again before the end of this season. And it is spinning. Are we going to have a period long enough to... No, we aren't. Oh my gosh, another 1 game period. I cannot believe this is happening. All right. Well, we will sim 1 game and then talk again. Okay. Really quick break there as we are now 54 and 17, and we'll go ahead and just get the spin out of the way. And what are we landing on? We are going to make all of our starters play 40 minutes. Okay, interesting. Let's go ahead and sim, or not sim, let's go ahead and spin. Oh God, no, I did it. Someone's gonna beat my head in with a bat. How many games are we playing 40 minutes for? 15? I think that is the rest of the season. I will confirm, and then I will get back with you. Okay, we are in the coach game plan here, and you can see every single starter is got 40 minutes to their name, and our bench is playing not at all. And the period that we are supposed to sim here is definitely going to be longer than the rest of the season schedule. So we're going to sim the rest of the season here, and we will reconvene at awards. So we are in the end of season recap as we are looking at a Shaq MVP as a Cleveland Cavalier. I am sure that Cavs fans don't remember Shaq in this uniform having 27, 13, and 2 a game. But let's take a look around the rest of the league here. Tracy McGrady, our beloved, still playing out of his mind in Indiana. Kobe putting up 32, 7, and 4. C-Dub at 31 now, putting up 30 points a game. Tim Duncan still doing pretty well. Ray Allen, great scorer. AI looks like he might be slowing down a little bit, only averaging 25, 5, and 5, which is definitely a step down from what he usually was averaging. And LeBron, as a rookie, averages almost 25, 5, and 7, or 6 and 7. I'm not going to do it. And we will... Oh, okay. Gilbert managed to score 24 a game. Looking at his career here is kind of crazy. He's played for 3 different teams in 3 seasons here, but we've got him locked down long term, and he had a fantastic season for us. Definitely led the way as our scorer here. Who could have guessed LeBron would win MVP? Boris Diaw win 6th Man of the Year. Ben Wallace is your DPOY, averaging almost 2.5 blocks a game. That's kind of surprising, though. Speedy Claxton wins Most Improved, and the Grizzlies went 69 and 13. Crazy. A 69 and 13 record for them, but we managed to go 63 and 19 with our squad. Insane year for us. I can't believe having Gilbert, Arenas, Anton Jameson, and Theo Ratliff as our big 3. Or I guess Carlos Boozer would probably be the other big piece of that. But having them as our big 3 would make such a big difference. But we are looking at the All-NBA first team here. No love for us. I mean, where does Gilbert end up? He ends up on the second team here. And any other love for our guys? Do we have anybody showing up in the All-Defensive? Nope. Any rookies? Well, I mean, I don't think we ended up drafting any rookies because we had to trade away our entire draft. But we enter the playoffs here, and we are the number 2 seed in the West. The monster that is the Memphis Grizzlies awaits us at the other end of this bracket. But let's start simming the playoffs here. Are we going to get ourselves into a deep playoff run in Season 2? Whereas we are struggling so hard in Celtics Dynasty. We did not make it out of the first round in Celtics Dynasty. And here we are in round 2. And let's go ahead and start simming games here in round 2. Are we going to find ourselves in a conference finals? I can't believe what I am witnessing here. We'll see Cleveland move on to the conference finals. And we will have oh man, that matchup is going to be insane. We do have a Game 7 here of Jay Williams, Peja, Jermaine O'Neal, and Yao Ming. That roster is crazy. And then the Milwaukee Bucks have Jason Terry, Michael Finley as their big guys. Is someone hurt on that roster? Because that does not seem like a roster that should be pushing this team to 7. We will jump in the Simcast here, but you would expect that the Wizards would handle business. But as the game closes, we're going to watch a Bucks team beat that Wizards squad that was so much better on paper. So a Cleveland versus Milwaukee Bucks Eastern Conference Finals, and then we have a tough matchup against, I think, the best team in this league. Jason Kidd, Allen Iverson, and LeBron James head up the Memphis Grizzlies against Gilbert Arenas, Anton Jameson, Carlos Boozer leading our Los Angeles Clippers. I am horrified about the prospect of facing this team, but we have somehow managed to sweep that team. We are in the finals in year 2 of this sim. I can't believe how short this one's going to be, maybe. If we win the championship here, the series is over, and we'll have to begin a new Chaos series, but I mean, Gilbert really has just been him in this series, averaging 29-2 or starting game 1 with 29-2 and 8. I mean, what's he averaging in the playoffs? We'll see here in a second, but clutch performances leading us in scoring there. In game 2, Anton Jamison and Gilbert Arenas both leading the way. Game 3, Gilbert 32, 8 and 7, and then game 4, 24, 14 and 10. I mean, just a guy who wanted us to get to the finals here. What are we going to see on the Eastern Conference Finals side as Cleveland takes care of business in 6? I mean, I would imagine that we're looking at, Jason Richardson and Shaq. That's a pretty good lineup, actually. I mean, we've got Baron Davis, Jason Richardson, Caron Butler, and Shaq as like the big grouping on that team. That is definitely a good squad. But are they better than Gilbert Arenas in Sim? We win game 1 here. We win game 2. The Cavaliers managed to take game 3. And, Carlos Boozer sprained his knee, and he's out for the season. So I've got to adjust some stuff here. So you might have noticed that we had starters playing 40 minutes still, but I don't even care because we are winning basketball games, or we were winning basketball games. Carlos Boozer going down might be problematic against a rebounder like Shaq as the Cavs tie the series and then take the lead in the series here. So we will hop into the Gamecast here in Game 6. And are we going to handle business here? It's a 3-point game. It's a 3-point game with 38 seconds left. So we will hop in the sim here and see if we can force a pivotal Game 7 here in the finals. All right, so we are in the game now, and we are going to watch as Gilbert Arenas will toss it down to Mitchell Tinsley. And what are we going to end up doing here? Anton Jamison will have it on the wing. He'll give it to Arenas, who will pass it to Thomas. Definitely missing Carlos Boozer in this game. They'll set a screen for Thomas, and he'll drive it to the basket and do a whole lot of weird stuff with the ball, and we cannot put it in. And that'll give Cleveland an opportunity to call timeout. And what will they do now? A little bit of stuttering action going on in the game there. I don't know what that was about. But with just a few ticks of the clock left, 17 of them, Cleveland needs a 3. Shaq is definitely not going to be the guy to get that for you. So who are they going to give it to? Well, they will give it to Shaq, I guess, and take the quick 2. And there's a 1-point game now as we pass the ball in, and they will foul right off the bat here. And Kirk Tinsley will step up to the line with 13 seconds left. It's looking a lot like we will be able to force that Game 7 that we desperately needed to force. 3-point game now, 13 seconds left. But they could get a quick 3 here as they're going to pass to Baron Davis, and he's going to throw up an ill-advised 3, but Shaq has the rebound out to Richardson. Still no good, and this game is just about over. Gilbert Arenas at the line. We know that he's an incredibly solid free throw shooter as he'll put the first through, and the second is up and good, and it's a 5-point game, and we will see you in Game 7. Oh, that was a miracle, almost a nightmare. Jesus. So Game 7 awaits us now. I am a little bit taken aback by how stuttery the game was there. That's never a great thing when you're trying to commentate. But Game 7 now. Are we going to walk away with a championship in year 2 here? In the Simcast now, we take a lead late in the 4th. 5-point game with under a minute to go. Can we seal this championship run? All right.
in the sim now. 5-point game. 49 seconds on the clock. Gilbert Arenas dribbling on the wing. They're going to double Thomas, which leaves Tinsley wide open, and we will take advantage of that. 7-point game here as we reach the final 30 seconds of this game. Baron Davis has it on the wing. They're going to get it down low to Shaq. We're going to send the double team, and so they'll put it back out to Davis. Doubling Shaq down low, probably a good strategy, as Davis will take the hop step, make the layup, bring it down to a 5-point lead. They're bringing the full court press, and they will foul with 22 seconds to go. So Cleveland in desperation time here, and we might be looking at a 2-season chaos success. I definitely think this will not be it might be a usual occurrence here, but what a wild ride. I mean, I don't know if turning the salary cap off breaks things too much, and we might have to look at how that kind of thing affects things, because Gilbert Arenas ending up being a free agent after his second season didn't make much sense to me. So we'll definitely take a look at things in that sense for our next chaos rebuild here. Should we win, but with 22 seconds left, it is looking pretty bleak if you are a Cleveland Cavalier fan. And I'm sad, I was really excited to start this era's rebuild, or these rebuilds in the chaos in the era. I'm a little bit sad because I was really excited to start these era's chaos rebuilds, and this one's going to end up being really short. But we will run it back with a different team in this era. We'll do another fantasy draft. Another thing I think we might end up doing here is we might take a team that is not fantasy put together, and we'll try to rebuild them with a chaos wheel. So keep your eyes peeled for that. As Mitchell Tinsley is at the line, he will put the first one in. It's a 5-point game, I've been saying Mitchell Tinsley. It's Kirk Tinsley. He's got 30 points in this game. Holy cow. Talk about stepping up on the biggest stage here. Baron Davis is going to once again throw up an ill-advised 3. We are going to get the rebound. And ladies and gentlemen, in just 2 seasons, despite fighting a chaos wheel every step of the way, Gilbert Arenas is at the line to put a championship away for the Los Angeles Clippers. This team just happened to be built to win. Anton Jamison, Gilbert Arenas, and Carlos Boozer ended up being an incredibly effective big 3, and with that, the Larry O'Brien Trophy comes to the city of Los Angeles. We fought long and hard this season to make the right moves to put us in position. We acquired draft picks that we're never going to get to use now because we're champions, and we've completed the goal of this dynasty. So we'll have to come back to the drawing board in the Kobe era with a different team and try again to see what kind of results we have. That's the nice thing about chaos, is we'll get a different result every time. So we'll have to see what happens the next time we sim around in the Kobe era, but I think the next series we'll do will be in a different era. Maybe we'll do something in the LeBron era, the Steph era. We'll see how we're feeling. But for now, we celebrate a big championship. What a sim. I am so pleased with the results here for the Clippers. Is that Gilbert Arenas winning Finals MVP? I sure hope so. What a performance in this season from Gilbert Arenas. I said jokingly that he's going to win us a championship when we signed him, but I definitely was not expecting that to happen immediately. So Gilbert wins Finals MVP, averaging 24, 9, and 9 with 2 steals in the finals, almost in the 50, 40, 90 club. What a season from our Los Angeles Clippers. And with that, we have beaten the Chaos Wheel and won a championship with the Los Angeles Clippers before I managed to do it with the Celtics. So, we have reached the end of this series and this video. So, if you enjoyed this series and this video, like I said, please leave a comment, like, subscribe. It helps my little channel get out there to more people and grow our community. I really hope that you come to another video of mine, or maybe pop into a live stream here soon for my UTSA Dynasty that I am running. But if not, I hope to see you in the next video. Please take care.